Hey everyone, welcome to my garage. If you're a subscriber, you've been here before, welcome back. I sure do appreciate you guys being here. What I'm going to be doing today is changing the rear drive oil on the Pacific Coast. This was a requested service and it wasn't going to take terribly long. I had a few extra minutes, so I thought I would go ahead and get it knocked out today. We'll get started here in just a minute. It's the first step in this, just like when you're doing your engine oil, is to go ahead and get the oil in the rear end warm so that it can drain a little easier. On this, it is really important to do it, as it is, I believe, 75 weight 90 oil. You need a GL5 hypoid engine oil to change your rear end out. I'm fortunate enough that I live fairly close to a Walmart, so I'm just going up there to retrieve a quart of oil for this. And your rear end change, honestly, is supposed to be a fairly frequent service. I think the actual recommendation to it is about every 10,000 miles. So if you do your oil changes in 3, just go ahead and change it every third oil change if you would have it to get into. And as you're going to find out, it's really not a difficult service to manage. Clear that corner there. But at any rate, I'm going to run up here to the Walmart and get the oil warmed up in the rear end. And I will put you guys on pause and pick you back up when we get back to the shop. Okay, I'm back from Walmart, got the oil that I needed, and before people in the know throw a fit that this is the absolute wrong oil for this, you're absolutely 100% correct. The reason that I needed it will become apparent in a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and pause you guys, get you relocated so that you can see exactly what's going on, and be back in a moment. Now what we're looking at here is the rear end shaft drive. And this is honestly, guys, far easier than doing your engine oil. You just get into this plug here, pop it loose. Since the oil has been warmed up from our trek to Walmart, it'll come out fairly easily. And to help it flow better, this is the best tool that I have ever had for this sort of thing. It is a Honda wrench. I'm sure it came with either the Transalp or the XL250R that I had when I was younger. But for doing these sort of bolts, it is an absolute dream. Any 17 millimeter wrench would work though. And we'll go ahead and take that off, as that's where we fill our new oil at. Hopefully you guys could see that wrench. If you couldn't when I checked the video, I will go ahead and show it again at the end. Now, since that oil is thick, we're going to go ahead and spin the wheel a few times in each direction to try to get any that's still hung up in the splines out. That looks fairly good. I'm going to go ahead and replug our hole. And because this oil for the rear end is so thick, I'm going to use the 5 weight 30, put a little bit of that in there to help dilute and break down the oil so that we can be sure to get it truly flushed as well as we can. Some people spray brake cleaner in it, things like that. To me, the brake cleaner is much more apt to damage the fresh oil when you put it in. So I just like to use a little lightweight engine oil, is my preference. It doesn't have to be a whole lot. Just going to inject some in there, maybe a hair more. This rear end only takes maybe 150 cc's of oil to begin with. When you're full is when it starts dripping out of the inspection cover up top here. All right, we've got our oil in there, and I'm going to do the same thing. Just spin it around so that it's in that oil bath to break down the gear oil. And remove the plug again. And allow that clean 5-weight oil to come out with the remainder of our thick oil. And I'm going to pause you just a moment while I go get our correct oil, and I'll show that to you, and we will refill. Be right back. This is the oil that I'm going to be replacing with. It's Royal Purple Synthetic 75 weight 90. It is GL5. And it is hypoid gear oil, so it does match all of the markings that you need to hit. It's probably honestly not the best oil out there, but it's what I could get the last time I needed to do this, and it was available. But any GL5 oil would work just fine. We'll put our plug back in now that it has stopped draining. I'm going to tilt you guys back, make sure you can see what's going on. I had to tilt you down so that you could see the gear oil. And I'm going to use an automotive syringe. This was maybe a $12, $15 item on Amazon, but it makes doing this sort of thing much, much, much easier. We'll pull up about our 150 or so that we need. Add it to our hole, and as I say, what you're looking for is when it begins to overflow, it's full. Now once you reach that point that it fills, we're getting just about ready to be there. We're going to let some of it pour out. There we go. We're just getting to where we're getting drips. And due to the thickness of it, go ahead and spin the wheel a little bit, because that stuff will foam and bubble, and this helps break up all of the foaming and bubbling so that it fills all the crevices and all of the cavities. And then we'll add in just enough more to cause it to overflow one more time and lock our cap down. It shouldn't take very much at all to overflow us again. And if this is helping you guys, please do like and subscribe. If you're already a subscriber, I sure do appreciate you guys help my channel grow. There we are. We're overflowing, so we'll put our cap back on. And neither of these bolts has to be really hammered on either, guys. Just take them down to snug. These are the bolts that'll tighten themselves up over time and be an absolute nightmare to get off the next time anyway. So just to snug is perfectly fine. When you're done, do be sure to wipe off your tire. You really don't want to have that gear oil on there if you can avoid it. And I believe that is all that I have to say for this video. So thank you all very much for joining me, and I hope to see you all in the future. Have a good day.